Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge. If Liverpool have got 4 wins from 4 and they're not even playing that well, and Arsenal are the perennial bottlers and Man City have already lost 2 games and Chelsea aren't good enough, then are Liverpool already too good for this league? Are they already champions elect? Now I know Liverpool fans, I said last year at Christmas you've already won this league, and quite rightly they were like, no, we don't want to believe that yet, and they won't believe it now. But are Liverpool too good for this league? I want to delve into this because I do believe that there is conflicting stories here that just sort of really emphasise modern football. We're in too much of a rush to make our minds up. Gyökeres is a flop when he's got 3 games in 4. Wirtz is the worst Liverpool signing when he's only played 4 games. And Liverpool are going to win this league title. And I think the truth is that some people are saying, well, if you spend $500 million, you're going to win the league. Some people will say, oh, you know, Liverpool are ridiculously lucky. They'll be lucky to finish mid-table. The trouble is we're always chasing an opinion. We're always wanting to be first. And it leads to loads and loads of mistakes. The reality is if Liverpool are lucky, you were always going to take that. Manchester United traditionally would start the season badly and end up with the title. If you could take 4 wins from 4 playing badly, you're definitely going to take it safe in the knowledge that you'll get better as the season goes on. The whole point of people saying Liverpool have been lucky, they're not even that good. Well, I'll take lucky winning instead of playing well and losing. And I think when I look at this Liverpool side, as I've said many times before, they're nowhere near where they need to be. Their record signing hasn't played a minute yet in Isak. But they're also making changes. And I think it's interesting that Gyökeres, one of the best left-backs in the Premier League last year, has looked really struggling at Liverpool. He's a player that needs to get better, as well as Wirtz, as well as Isak, who's not played yet. So for Liverpool to have 4 wins from 4, when they've not played particularly well, must be a great feeling. But in no way, shape or form does it mean they're going to win the league. Not at all. Correct me if I'm wrong, Arsenal are 3 points behind them, and that only was because of a Szoboszlai winner at Anfield. So Arsenal are there. I hope we're going to get a good title race, and I don't want to be at any point this season, certainly not before Christmas, saying, like last season, I felt Liverpool had it won by Christmas, and I was right. I don't detect that, and I certainly wouldn't detect that after 4 games. There's a long way to go. There's a lot of twists and turns. And obviously, for the league, you'd love Burnley to have held on. You'd love Newcastle to have held on. But what that shows is something that we've known about Liverpool since the Jurgen Klopp days. I've said for many times on this channel that as much as Man United and Liverpool fans might not like it, the similarities between what Jurgen Klopp was building at Liverpool and what Sir Alex Ferguson built were quite similar. This determination, this never say die, and this late winner mentality that Klopp instilled at Liverpool still exists now. I never felt for 1 minute that Liverpool weren't going to beat Newcastle or they weren't going to beat Burnley, even though the minutes were clocking down, because you've seen it happen so many times before. If you want to beat Liverpool, you better beat Liverpool. You can't be there at the end of the game going, whoa, woe is me. We nearly got a draw and they snatched it at the end. You know, from Burnley's point of view, welcome to the Premier League. Leeds had it as well. You know, you can't be there thinking you're getting a draw and then you lose at the end. How many goals are scored in the last few minutes in the Premier League? A lot. And Burnley's plan was to basically park the bus. You conceded a penalty, you lost. Your plan didn't work. You've got to be a little bit better than that. Or, to be fair to Burnley, maybe that's the only thing they can do against the best team in England. So I don't think we've learnt anything other than the fact that international break this early kills momentum and teams aren't up to speed until probably the back end of September. Liverpool will get better. They won't be the champions in September, but they will be right up there. I don't think they're lucky. I don't think they're dominant. I just think they're a team going about their business, which is what Arne Slot did last year, with a very good start. And I think the challenge is who is going to go with them. Because I think you can already pitch. What we have learned from Liverpool is they win when they're playing badly. That's the daunting thing. It's daunting when you win 4 from 4 and you're not at your best. Psychologically, Arsenal especially need to ignore it. Psychologically, Arsenal need to ignore the fact that they did enough to get a point at Anfield and then they pull up a worldie. What Liverpool are great at the moment is psychological warfare. They'll grind you down on, even if we don't play well, we'll find a way to win. And that can get in their heads of oppositions. And the next team that plays Liverpool and they're not playing well with 10 minutes to go, it's going to be in their head. They're going to score. They're going to score. And that can have a big impact on games. Everyone else needs to just go about their business because Liverpool have that in their locker. And what they're also basically saying is that we will be there at the end of the season. We're going to pitch ourselves guaranteed between 80 and 90 points. And you need to know that, because they will, and you need to deal with that. I look beyond Liverpool, and my only concern is, can somebody go with them? Because if they don't, it will be over by Christmas. Now, look, Man City had a good result against Man United. It's a huge game on Sunday. If you want to go with Liverpool, you've got to win that game. I don't think drawing that game helps Arsenal. I don't think drawing that game helps Man City. But I don't think Man City are going near Liverpool anyway. I think from Arsenal's point of view, they got to win that game. They've got to win that game and keep winning and winning and winning and focused on what they are doing. Because I look at that Arsenal side, and I think Liverpool fans would admit it as well. They're better than last year. They have a goal scorer. They have injuries to people like Saliba, Saka, Odegaard. Rice didn't start at the weekend. And they're fine. Another clean sheet, 3 goals scored. So Arsenal are in a good place. What they can't afford is the slippage. Because psychologically, Liverpool will just go, let's keep going, let's keep going. Liverpool are the masters in getting the wins when it looks like they might not. And that's where Arsenal, comparable to last season, need to look at it and go, Brighton, Everton, Aston Villa, or whoever else they drop points to, that's where it's got to improve. Because I don't think Chelsea or Man City go with them. I think it's a 2-horse race already. You know, I don't know whether everybody else has said that, but I do think it's a 2-horse race. But I don't think it's over. I don't think they're champions already. I think that hopefully the spending power of both clubs this summer is going to lead to a really intriguing title race. And I did say at the time I felt Liverpool-Arsenal was way too early in the season. I mean, I don't know whether the computer does it on purpose or not, but for me, Liverpool and Arsenal will be the 2 teams that go for the title. I'd rather first game was in November and the second game was in March. But we've got one out the way. It's now going to be about Arsenal's ability to go with Liverpool, because I think they will get better and better. And ultimately as well, when Man City were winning titles, you sort of looked at the next 6 fixtures for Man City, sometimes 7 or 8, and went, they'll probably win them all. And that's the fear with Liverpool, is that they might look at the next 8 games and go, we're probably going to win them all. And that's what you have to do to go with them. So, look, it's really early. I think people just want to write headlines. They want to say it's over. They want to say, lucky Liverpool. The reality is it's the start of the season. Nobody's going through their rhythm yet. And absolutely everybody just wants a good start to the season. Newcastle would be up there with Bournemouth if they had a forward. I think Newcastle, I don't know about you, but I think Newcastle and Spurs have had really good starts to the season. They just switched off in a couple of games, and in Newcastle's case, they didn't have a forward. But I said Arsenal will win the league. I'm very aware of that. But I also said Liverpool will be the favourites. I don't change that opinion. I think it's really, really early. I just think people like to write the headlines soon. And, absolutely, Liverpool have set a very daunting start, and they've beat Arsenal. But there's a long way to go. And I do feel that there might be a Liverpool loss around the corner very, very soon. It just feels like at the moment that might happen. Until it doesn't. They can get better as well. Big shout out, by the way. My FC 26 career mode will start this week. I'm going to take Manchester United back to greatness, even if Amrim can't. As a side to that, 6 o'clock tonight on my channel, I will be live streaming FC 26 with some friends. Pro clubs. You might recognise some of them. So make sure you tune in for that. I'll drop the link in the video description and the pinned comment as well. Get your comments in below. Let me know your thoughts. Smash a like on the video. And big up everybody yesterday. That video was maybe a little bit niche, but that's why I love this community. We talk about everything, and I think that's just such a positive change for football. Speak to you all in a bit. Take care.